What is going on, everybody? Been a diehard Pistons fan since 2003 and starting to get very optimistic about this Pistons team. The Detroit Pistons have had and will have representation in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night for All-Star Weekend. So I wanted to make a quick video talking about what transpired last night in the Rising Stars game and just talk about what to expect tonight, Saturday with the three-point shootout that Cade is in, and Sunday, the All-Star game, which Cade is in. I know a lot of people are pretty anti All-Star Weekend, especially in the year of 2025, but All-Star Weekend in the NBA has always kind of been a special place in my heart. The first time I ever had any interest in watching a basketball game on the TV was in 2003. I was 6 years old, and it was Michael Jordan's last All-Star game ever. My dad had pointed that out to me. I took a liking to watching the game. I really did not understand why each team was shooting on the specific hoops that they were, because at 6 years old, my understanding was that you could just score on either basket. So I had a lot to learn, but that was my kind of inauguration into the NBA and the first time that I ever did watch the NBA. By a time that a year had passed and the 2004 All-Star break had came around, I was fully bought in to the Detroit Pistons in the NBA. I could name 80% of the players in the league at 7 years old. I was super excited to watch Freddie Jones in the dunk contest and everything in between. So remember all that stuff pretty well because it did mean a lot to me at that point in time. And to this day, I probably care more about All-Star Weekend than your average person. I know that the competitiveness has definitely scaled down over the years and all that. But at the end of the day, it's a celebration and showcase of some of the best young talent and best players overall in the entire NBA. So I always enjoy it. And I did enjoy last night watching Ausar compete in the Rising Stars despite the ending. In case you guys don't know, they have kind of this new system that they're doing now. They've done it in the Rising Stars game for a couple of years where they have 4 different teams. Ausar ended up being on a team with his brother, and it's kind of a tournament style with first team to score 40 wins. Anyways, Ausar's team got down to the very end of the game. They were at 37 points and had an opportunity to close it out because they had to get to 40. Ausar went to the free throw line, went 0 of 2 from the free throw line, missing both shots that would have had them 1 point away from finishing the game. After that, happened again. He went back to the free throw line, still stuck on 37 points, and missed both again to finish the night, 1 of 5 from the free throw line, which ultimately cost them the game as the other team made a game-winning 3, and that was that. So realistically, Ausar did miss 4 free throws. If he would have made 3 of them, it would have sealed it. If he would have even made 2, it probably would have sealed it as well because Amen did have a dunk right after that. But nevertheless, nothing to trip over, nothing to take away from it. I mean, I guess you can take away from the fact that Ausar is not a great free throw shooter, but I knew that before last night as he's only at 61% from the free throw line this season. So not news to me. It's been something that we definitely hope to see improve over time, but I did not need to see him miss 4 free throws in a row in the Rising Stars game to be aware of that. So definitely felt bad for him, hoping he doesn't take it to heart. If anything, I hope it motivates him to continue to work on his shooting, which I know he has been, and we'll definitely hope not to see that in an actual game. I would much rather see him miss game-winning free throws in a Rising Stars game than a Pistons game, because especially going forward, each game is going to be very, very important as we ramp up and get towards the playoffs. So that leads us into tonight, which is Saturday right now. I'm recording this around 5 o'clock. Things should be kicking off here in a couple hours. The skills contest, no Pistons are involved. After the skills contest, we will get to the 3-point shootout, which we do have some Pistons representation, and that is Cade Cunningham, our all-star. He'll be going up against Brunson, Garland, Hero, Buddy Hield, Cam Johnson, Dame Lillard, and Norman Powell. Currently, if you check the Vegas odds, he has the longest odds to win, so it seems like the broader NBA community does not believe that Cade has much of a shot in this, but I think that a lot of people might be surprised. There is a real chance in real world where Cade does go out and probably doesn't do so hot, but I do think that he is more than capable of getting hot in an open gym, shooting off of the rack. He does have a pretty effortless jump shot. I think as long as he gets arc underneath it, which sometimes he does struggle with in game, I think he'll have a real opportunity to be competing with these guys. Of course, the competition is pretty thick, but would love to see Cade do as well as he possibly can, and will definitely be cheering for him. It has been a long time since we have had a Piston in the three-point shootout, so I'm really excited to see him do that. I do wish Malik Beasley, what am I saying? Malik Beasley. I was thinking Michael Beasley for some reason because I was just playing 2K with him. I was going to say, though, before I got off on that, Malik Beasley probably should be in this three-point shootout. I did read somewhere that they did ask Malik Beasley to be in the three-point shootout. However, the All-Stars get first dibs. So if I was guessing, Cade probably made the All-Star game, and then they asked him if he wanted to do it, and he said yes. And then that kind of kicked Beasley out of the three-point shootout. Of course, Beasley has been an incredible shooter for us this year, so I do wish he was in this competition, but I am more than happy that we just have representation, period, and I'm excited to see Cade. And not only am I excited to see Cade in the three-point shootout, I am also excited to see him in the All-Star game, which will be Sunday night. I do think that this new format will bring some competitive spirit to the game. The reason why I say that is because when it was initially announced, I wasn't really too familiar with what their plan was, but after watching the Rising Stars game and seeing how the Rising Stars will be competing against these three teams, or at least one of these three teams, I think that that's going to make these guys lock in a little bit. I don't think any of these All-Stars are going to want to show up on national TV and get shown up by Castle and Dalton Connect and Zach Edey. So I am expecting to see a little bit more competitiveness than we have seen over the last few years, and I'm really excited for that. I think that Cade's team has a real chance. Of course, he is in this team with most of the other young American stars. They pretty purposefully try to divide these by three categories. Charles Barkley's team is all of the foreign-born players plus randomly Donovan Mitchell, and then Team Kenny, which Cade is on, is all of the young American stars. So his teammates are going to be Brunson, Ant Edwards, Garland, Hero, Jaren Jackson Jr., Mobley, and J-Dub. And then Team Shaq is the team OGs, which includes LeBron, Steph, Curry, KD, etc. So pretty excited for this. I do wish that the games were a little bit longer. This will be played just like the Rising Stars game was played, with a target score of 40. I do think that they could manage to probably kick those games up to 50. It's 2s and 3s. It goes by pretty darn quick. I understand that they're trying to shorten it and make it more competitive, but I do think 40 is a little bit thin. I would be a little bit more open to that if it was to 50, but what do I know? I'm just here and gonna enjoy it one way or the other. So let me know what you guys think. I don't really know how anyone who watches these videos feels about the All-Star game. I know it's not the most popular thing in the world anymore, but like I said, I still enjoy it and look forward to it every year. So let me know how you feel, and we'll catch up soon.